Don't get ahead of yourself.
Fly!
All right, guys, we are here with me, your host, God of Heroics, and today we're doing something completely new. As you see, I have a little model here, which is a little hint to something I've been working towards, and we will, get to that when we get to it. But today, we are watching the new Death Battle. I have seen tons of people talking about Death Battle as of recently because they've been doing a lot of projects that have actually been using really done research and then actually utilizing that research in the battles instead of just giving up and just going with whoever pays them the most money or whoever happens to be the most popular. So, we're gonna go ahead and watch this one. This is the new one, which is Ash versus Yugi, Pokemon versus Yu-Gi-Oh! So let's jump right into it, and don't forget to hit that notification bell, like the video, subscribe to the page, and all that YouTube jazz. Let's go.
His question from the playground. Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh? He's Wiz, I'm
Oh, what was
Boomstick.
that?
And
Switch to
it's our
the
job to
team.
analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Okay, so I do have some qualifying questions because Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon they're done vastly different. In Yu-Gi-Oh, there is a set of rules until there's not, and then there are some battles where they're operating in real time, while in most cases the game is played turn-based, and Pokemon as a game is played turn-based with 6 Pokemon to each trainer. So now I'm wondering, are they doing like a real-time battle, which is kind of what it looks like. Is this like a real-time battle? Are there going to be any rules? Are all of Yugi's traps and spells just going to be hand traps and hand spells? Are the monster effects going to come into play in any way when it comes to the typing? Because Pokemon does have some similar typing to Yu-Gi-Oh! With some of their monsters at least, or would there be like qualifiers? I don't know. I kind of want to know what ground rules they're going to lay down for this to try to make the battle a little bit more even.
Oh, the kids get their first one at age 10. If you don't sleep in like Ash Ketchum from
some-
Pallet Town.
Well, a little nitpicky, but some starters, some Pokemon, they start at like 11, 12, 13. I know the more recent games are aging up their characters. I think Arceus and CA was like 16, but yeah, no, Ash started at 10. That is correct.
Ash wanted to be a Pokemon master, though he didn't really know what that meant yet.
How about taking down your rivals to be the very best, like no one ever was? Better than Gary and his dumb groupies.
Well, Ash knew he'd
I forgot Gary had a whole ass car. That is crazy. Gary had a whole freaking convertible at the age of 10. Not only can you go outside and fight with dangerous mons, but you can also apparently drive. Alright, but let's look at this list, what it says for Ash. Champion of Alola, which is correct. World Coronation Series Monarch, that's a new title for me, but to be fair, I haven't really been super invested in the Pokemon anime in a while. Roll-Time Pokédex, I know about that. The Roll-Time Phone, all of these power-ups and stuff, and the key items. These are things that I know for a fact exist in the games, and it makes sense that Ash would get them being the titular character up until the new Pokemon journey. Like Pokemon battles, training, catching, leagues, summer camps, content, blah 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 blah. I assume most of that is not going to come into play here. Unless he gets sumo wrestling cards that he can play in like Yu-Gi-Oh fashion. That would be funny.
find his answers at the Pokemon League tournament.
So Oak hooked him up with the electric mouse, Pikachu, and went,
Yes,
he's your
yes.
problem now, stupid.
Pikachu was a lot. The
Yep.
new duo had a rocky start, but after an intense first day together, the rest, as they say, is history.
Or the rest, as they say, is a theory that Ash has been in a coma for 20 years.
We should note, we are prioritizing the anime that Ash is from, which often differs from the original games that inspired it.
Correct.
Ash is equipped with tons of Pokeballs and an all-knowing Pokedex. That's also a Pokemon. But in a fight,
Yeah, the
Ash
Rotom
usually
Dex.
chooses Pikachu. Give the yellow red enough voltage and you'll regret it. Even ground types that would be a...
Oh, I didn't even think about this, but are his Pokemon's quote-unquote levels got to be taken into consideration? Because I know that Ash's Pokemon do obviously gain experience and get stronger, but there was a whole game theory on it where they were talking about the different Pokemon that Ash has, and they were talking about like what level Pikachu would be, because there was an episode where he lost to like a starter Snivy, which by all rights and purposes is level 5. But then they were wondering like how strong Ash's Pikachu would be. I think he was like 63 68 or something like that. But yeah, no, I'm wondering if like that kind of experience is going to be taken into consideration, or if the Pokemon are just going to be put at like their base power for their respective evolutions.
Immune to electric attacks in the games? Can't stop what this Pikachu dishes out.
Yet somehow Ash is just fine after repeatedly getting zapped by this same electricity.
Yeah,
In
you get
time,
immune to it all
you
the
learn
time.
Volt Tackle, Electro Web, Electro Ball, and
Pikachu, use Thunderbolt. The perfect.
Are we not gonna talk about Iron Tail?
Giant thieves and air balloons.
Pikachu had like a whole like 3-4 episode story arc where he was just learning Iron Tail, and he pulled it out in like a tournament or something, and like it went really well. But there was a whole training arc for that. Are we not gonna give him that move?
Looks like they're blasting off again.
so clearly the anime doesn't follow the game rules. Like when Pikachu shot himself with his own thunder while on Swellow, who, you know, is vulnerable to lightning.
But somehow they use thunder as a super armor. He
What?
learned how to deflect attacks by just spinning really fast.
Yo, I thought Yu-Gi-Oh! Logic was some bullshit. What the hell is this?
Whee!
Speaking of fast, Pikachu has intercepted lightning, but Quick Attack increases that speed even more.
And his Iron Tail really pairs
Oh,
well
there we
with
go,
Ash's
Iron
offensive
Tail.
style. The guy plays crazy, opting for big damage over stalling.
Ash's style is so unusual that when a robot scanned his tactics, it exploded.
And
Ash plays his Pokemon battles the same way I play the games. I do not give too much of a shit about typings. I just pick which Pokemon I like and that I can bond with and vibe with, that I think are cool and, you know, would give me some leeway and headway in some matches. And then I just throw them out there and just use attacks that I think are cool and might work. And somehow I have lucked my way through every official Pokemon title until recently. I haven't played ZA, but every other official Pokemon title I have beat playing it the way Ash, I guess, just trogs his way through all his adventures.
the great philosophers put it, if it works, is it still stupid?
Ash
Exactly!
is
Exactly that. Is it dumb if it works?
Ash's league ID won't let him carry more than 6 at a time, but if he needs them, they'll all come running.
Water types like Squirtle and Lapras are key in
That's gonna come in handy. I know for a fact that's gonna come in handy in this battle against Yugi. Sometimes when you're watching Death Battle, they just say something that sounds like a one-off thing, but you're like, no, that's gonna come into play. Like, I don't think he's gonna have Charizard on his main team of 6, but you better believe Charizard is gonna show up, because he does this damn near every season. Every new Pokemon title, Charizard just shows up out of nowhere and just starts running shit because he's just that popular.
seafaring fights, and Ash can combine their water attacks with Glalie Ice Beam.
One time, his Weasel got frozen while using Aqua Jet, which is fine. Now he's using Ice Aqua Battering Ram.
Grass
That's
types
not a
like
move.
Bulbasaur and Torterra induce status effects and heal with Synthesis.
But Sceptile's a menace. Yeah, so you got a big, scary Darkrai. Eat this Leaf Blade, Smeargle victim! Or that's what I would.
See, that's what I mean. Like, there's no reason Leaf Blade should be knocking out Darkrai, but we just do whatever the hell we want and it works.
Give my man a win, 4Kids.
Well, 4Kids just did the localization. They didn't write the show.
They just get me heated. Almost as much as Infernape's Flare Blitz. Then I'll set my Inferno to overdrive, get my revenge, and Incineroar.
Ash had a fiery passion.
Bars.
He's the last one you want to see on the field. Even if you have a Blastoise like Gary, Ash will call for the most unexpected signature move.
Seismic Toss!
I remember as a kid seeing Ash do Seismic Toss to defeat Blastoise. My brain had me really thinking that Charizard flew around the world 3 times just to suplex his Blastoise. And in my head, that made sense because I'm like, Charizard's probably fast as hell. And while he has a type disadvantage against Blastoise, if you fly a dude around the planet 3 times and primary lotus him into stone, you win that fight.
People's Elbow, a Pokemon. Charizard's so strong, his flamethrower melts boulders. The Pokemon world is wild.
Ash's Pokedex spells it out. Vanillix causes blizzards. Magikarp leaps over mountains and into space. Dusknoir pulls souls into the spirit world.
Oh, and Pikachu cleared a storm as wide as an island.
This kind of scaling, this is general Pokemon scaling. Like, this is just the most casual shit you will ever see in Pokemon, and it baffles me that people still talk about, oh, every Pokemon, one of every Pokemon versus a billion lions. The billion lions are losing to one of these Pokemon. Like, and it almost doesn't matter which Pokemon you pick, because they can do shit like this. When this Pikachu, who still hasn't evolved to his strongest form, can clear storms across a nation with one lightning strike, these a billion lions are nothing. When you have Charizard who can fly and melt boulders with a casual flamethrower, these lions are dead. The freaking, what was it, Slugma or Magmar or Magma? One of those two. When his shell cracks, it is so much heat. It is said that his shell contains the heat of the sun, or something that rivals the heat of the sun. If the lions attack him and, God forbid, break his shell in any kind of way, they are all dead. The whole planet is dead. That is an instant OHKO. Pokemon scaling is just too crazy. I don't want to hear about these damn billion lions ever again in my life.
You want physical? Look at Ash. This twerp somehow carried around a Cosmoem, which canonically weighs over a ton. Oh, and this huge log that's basically a whole tree, he chucked it like it was nothing.
Yeah, fuck one of every Pokemon versus a billion lions. Ash Ketchum versus a billion lions, guys. Let's talk about that.
Ash can choose his own hands if he wants, and he does a lot. Maybe his secret is watching the Minnesota Vikings.
Resilience is the bare minimum to HMO1 cut it in the tall grass. Humans and Pokemon must protect and enrich each other's lives.
Like Mimey, the Mr. Mime back home who mind boggles you with reflect, lights,
The Mr. Mime at home that's banging Ash's mom?
screen, and psychic. Yep, that Mr. Mime. The stepdad who Ash caught in a Pokeball and brought home. Oh, so that's how it works.
Ash figured out new ways to bond with his pals with Aura. It's a life force that interacts with souls and links Ash with Lucario.
This jackal excels at CQC and shoots steel beams and aura spheres. And with Mega Evolution, Lucario's power surges enough to defeat champion Cynthia's Garchomp.
Mega Lucario is goddamn one of the most top tier designs in Pokemon history. I don't care what the furries say. I don't care what Battle the Whale says about her furry fetish. You can want to smash this Lucario all you want, or you can call me a furry because I love this design. But this Lucario design, this Mega Lucario himself was already peak design. And then they took peak design and turned it into a fucking Super Saiyan 3. You cannot tell me this design is not fucking cool. Like, Mega designs, there are some that are just peak as hell, and I'm not gonna get into some other ones. We're just gonna talk about Lucario and this other one. But the only design that blew my mind more than Mega Lucario was Mega Charizard X. That black dragon with blue flames eternally foaming from its mouth. Coolest shit I've ever seen in Pokemon history, man. I'm telling you.
A Mega would have been handy at the Safari Zone when Ash accidentally caught 30 Tauros. And he keeps...
Accidentally? Was that not on purpose? I thought as a kid that Ash and his family just ran a Tauros farm. Did he accidentally catch 30? How the fuck do you accidentally throw 30 Pokeballs?
Ash's strength is not in battle theory, but his nurtured bonds. He knows Pokemon feelings better than anyone. With Greninja, Ash learned to synchronize their senses and movements, transforming him into Ash Greninja.
Yep, and
It
Ash
comes with
Greninja
a
is also
huge
another
power
top tier
increase,
design.
But there's a catch. Ash shares Greninja's pain. A small price to pay for the ultimate water shuriken.
Woo!
Ash Greninja ran the ones with Champion Diantha's Mega Gardevoir. And just a normal Gardevoir can conjure black holes.
Ash's Pokemon and teamwork get a
Again, casual feats that a billion lions are not stopping. What the fuck are a billion lions gonna do to a black hole?
long like rice balls and jelly-filled donuts. They saved the world from Lysander, who tried to kill all life. They fought the giants, the Reggie kind, not the New York ones, who halted Reggie Gigas, who can tow entire regions.
Ash's team battled Steven Stone and Alon, who fought the terraforming primal forms of Groudon and Kyogre.
Yeah, don't get me started on Alon. Ash did everything right. But
His fight with Alon was so crazy because, like he said, Ash did everything right. Bro even took type advantage into consideration for once in his damn life. And he was going crazy and still lost to this guy. Golly, Alon is crazy. Bro goes so hard, though. One of my favorites.
no, Greninja still lost to his Charizard after only getting hit 3 times. How does Blast Burn beat Water Shuriken?
Alon was hitting crits every attack, I swear. There's no way you get hit 3 times while you're in your freaking Ash Greninja form and you just lose. Like, that's insane. Ash's Greninja got in so many damn hits, but that's the difference between this hydrogen bomb versus Ash's coughing baby with a Super Saiyan transformation. Like, yeah, you can hit as many times as you want, but when you get hit with 3 heavies like that, you're cooked, bro. Imagine playing Sheik against a Bowser player. Like, yeah, you can get in all these crazy combos and these hits, and you can throw your shurikens, blow him up, and hit the freaking bouncing fish. But once that motherfucker hits you with a side B and then a drop kick, you're hitting the fucking stage borders instantly.
Thanks to some really delicious soup, his new Gengar, Gigantamax.
Kaiju Gengar! He haunts foes with G-Max Terror, or even swallows them up. I bet it smells nasty in there.
Ash and Pikachu also scored a buff with their
Yeah, with their Z move.
All they need is a power ring, some
I
JoJo
remember
poses,
watching this,
and
too.
Thunderbolt will evolve into
10 million volt Thunderbolt! This Rainbow Lightning is their ace. You see this coming? You're cooked.
This episode went so goddamn hard. Pikachu with Ash's hat became an event Pokemon that you could get in one of the Pokemon games. I don't remember which one it was, but I remember getting the Pikachu with the Ash hat. Well, it was Sun and Moon. Why am I pretending like I don't know? It was Sun and Moon. But you get the Pikachu with the Ash hat and you can actually do the 10 million volt. That shit was so cool, man. I love it. Pikachu with Ash's hat is peak character design.
Ash got a god in his bag for just being a nice dude. Smell you later, Gary.
In fact, when Ash and friends band together, they can halt Dialga's Roar of Time. And Dialga literally controls the concept of time. Is there a legendary Pokemon he hasn't befriended?
But it all started with Pikachu, so it was gonna end with Pikachu. In the Tournament of Champions, and Alon, Ash faced the #1 trainer. Finally,
Lance!
after 3,000 years, we're free! 4 kids, let my boy win! Yes!
Not 4 kids, but
Ash
yeah.
did his best, and he had no regrets. Now free to hand over his torch to new bright-eyed trainers.
Ash realized that, to him, a Pokemon Master was someone who was friends with every Pokemon. So he and Pikachu threw a stick in the air and walked away it landed, because in the world of Pokemon, the journey continues.
All right. Well, with the Pokemon side of this wrapped up, let's move on to the Yu-Gi-Oh side, because this is something I am far more knowledgeable on. Yu-Gi-Oh was something I watched way more than Pokemon. Pokemon, I've seen a lot of episodes here and there, but Yu-Gi-Oh, I was there for the long haul. I even watched all the movies. So let's get this scaling on Yugi and the Pharaoh, because I know we're doing both. And let's see who we think we can win, who we think will win based on the evidence that has been laid out for both Ash and Yugi. Let's get to the Yugi part.
Many a theorist have tried to solve the mystery of ancient Egypt. What was the secret to such a glorious civilization?
Time travel? The Divine Hand? Aliens? Nah, they were gamers.
Egyptians
They were gamers. Yeah, that's it. That's the ultimate thing right there. You can't solve Egypt without talking about some gamers, bro. We had dual monsters since freaking BC.
played games with sorcery. These magical ceremonies punish dark hearts with swift death. The Shadow Game.
No, Wiz, they were banished to the Shadow Realm.
No. They were
Sadly,
just sent
the
to
way of
hell.
the Shadow Games was lost across time and the pieces of the Millennium Puzzle. It's said the one who solves the puzzle would pass judgment on evil.
Wait, are we gonna talk about season 0 of Yu-Gi-Oh? Because I would love to talk about that right now. Scaling season 0, how we use Shadow Games for every game to punish the pettiest of criminals. I would love to. Please talk about season 0.
And in the modern day, Yugi Muto reassembled it and wished for a friend.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Turn that jam up! Yugi was
Yeah!
a shy kid that helped run his grandpop's game shop.
But little did he know that completing the puzzle would link his spirit to an ancient pharaoh.
Season
Yami.
0! Season
Always
0
willing to lend
Yami!
Yugi a hand, and always on demon time while doing so.
Quite literally
He's
on demon time.
anime Jigsaw. Yami wants to play a shadow game.
Whether it's griddle air hockey, Mario Party with chloroform, or the game that would take his world and ours by storm, Duel Monsters.
Yeah, we kind of glossed over Season 0 Yugi, but he was a different monster altogether, bro. Dude, I remember there was an episode where a dude was pouring him a drink. It was like alcohol, and he balanced a lighter on the dude's hand and was like, yeah, if you stop pouring that drink, you gonna burn to death, my guy. And I was like, bro, is this even a game? That shit was intense. Or the time they were playing, I think, what was it, like Match the Card? It was a game of memory. They were playing a game of memory on the side of a building. And every wrong guess, you just like dropped lower until the dude fell off the building. Crucial nonsense, man.
The Millennium Puzzle does far more than force hallucinations. It brings monsters to reality, forms barriers, manipulates probability, and seals away spirits.
No. That manipulating probability shit is actual cheating. And on multiple occasions, you would think, oh yeah, no, Yugi can just lose here. And then he doesn't. As a matter of fact, there's an episode in the Seal of Orichalcos arc where he loses a duel to, I forget the dude's name, it started with an L or something. But he lost that duel only because he activated the Seal of Orichalcos, and the dark energy from the Seal of Orichalcos tampered with his magic with the Millennium Puzzle, and he wasn't able to manipulate probability to pull a win. That is the only reason he lost that duel. That was crazy. But no, on a regular basis, Yami has the most famous top decking ability ever, and in the Dark Side of Dimensions movie, the final movie, even Yugi himself, like little kid Yugi Muto, had like Yami levels of top decking. It was crazy. He almost beat Kaiba, and that's not debatable, by the way. If you're a Kaiba fan, I'm sorry, but Yugi was going to defeat Kaiba in that duel. Go ahead and watch TGS Anime. I think that's the name of his YouTube channel. TGS Anime does a whole breakdown of Yugi's deck and Kaiba's deck and the cards they had available to them throughout the entirety of that duel. Yugi was going to win that duel before it got interrupted by the villain, and then he almost beat the villain too. So yeah, the only reason he technically didn't beat the villain is because he almost passed out in the Shadow Games, and then the Pharaoh showed up and literally drew and played the final card for Yugi. But I'm pretty sure the card he got was the card Yugi was gonna draw.
Friends Taya, Tristan, and their left leg Joey, Yugi and Yami were ready for anything.
Hold on. Left leg Joey? Nah, Joey's right arm, bro. He is the right arm of this team. Bro almost defeated Merrick. He almost ended Battle City's threat, like, himself. I know Kaiba shits on him a lot, and he's kind of a joke character. Bro almost defeated the final boss.
Because Yugi had a great early deck. Monsters for offense, spells for effects, and traps for setups. Oh, and Exodi... Oh, there they go.
Okay,
That sniveling bitch Weevil! Ah! I'm so glad he got what he had coming. He got what he had coming. As a matter of fact, the revenge that the Pharaoh got on Yugi was so great. Somebody uploaded it to the hub, the Black and Horns NSFW site, and called it something like Weevil gets massacred, or Weevil gets like onslaught or relentless pounding from the Pharaoh, something like that. They uploaded it to the hub because he got abused and beat so bad.
didn't know Yugi had that dog in him, but I'm about brute force. Buster Blader and
Buster
Celtic Guardian are
Blader.
sick, nasty swordsmen. Summon Skull shoots bolts of lightning, and the giant soldier of stone can destroy moons.
This shit was so insane. They actually made a card called Destroy the Moon with the giant soldier stabbing the moon. I don't remember what the card does. It is a real card though. But they actually made a card called Destroy the Moon based on this moon maneuver alone. It was so crazy. I think he was dueling Mako, and dude had spell card, the field card Umi on the field, which boosted the attack and defense of all water monsters. And he had the giant stone soldier destroy the moon to mess with the tides of Umi and get rid of it. That was insane. Early Yu-Gi-Oh was just like, hey, if you can explain it, it works.
Speaking of wizardry, you can't have a Yugi deck without his right hand.
The Dark Magician.
And his apprentice,
Dark Magician Girl.
Both are masters.
And all the other magicians like Apple Magician Girl, Lemon Magician, and then like Chocolate Magician. There's some that Yugi actually uses in his deck at the end of the series.
Dark magic, and Yugi often pairs them with the damage redirecting magic cylinder. Now that's thinking with portals.
There's support monsters too.
Catapult
Turtle is a
Turtle.
bot with a cannon that literally launches other monsters.
Yep.
And when Yugi comboed it with Gaia and Swords of Revealing Light, which immobilizes monsters, they brought down an entire fortress. Wait, that's not how the card
Not
game
how the
works.
card
Is
works,
he
but
cheating?
if you
We're
can explain
prioritizing
it.
the manga and anime over anything else, which can differ from the real world card game.
Yugi also has tons of spell cards. Monster Reborn resurrects a fallen friend. Turn Jump is a time skip. And Pot of Greed lets Yugi draw 2 more cards, like Pot of Greed, which lets him draw 2 more cards, like...
If things get dicey,
And the most common duel monster can cause tsunamis, rain down meteors, and wreck cities.
and all of this power culminated
Yeah, so please let's not put dual monsters against a billion lions because that's not going to end well for the billion lions.
in Battle City, hosted by Kaiba Corp.
Because Kaiba really wanted that salty run back against his rival.
Salt only surpassed by Yami's biggest hater, Merrick, who wanted the 3 Egyptian god cards to take him out. These cards were Slifer, the Electric Dragon, Roth, the God Phoenix, and Obelisk, who
The
strikes with the
Tormentor.
power of infinity.
Together, the magicians can defeat the 10-star gods, which are way stronger than mid-tier monsters that are 5 to 9 stars.
Mid-tier cards aren't pushovers. Darkhold Dragon is a sentient black hole, planet alignment moves solar systems, and Jaden's Glow Neos destroyed a relativity field that spawned an entire universe.
But at the
That kind of shit alone makes me think Yugi is going to win this. That's insane scaling for anything in Yu-Gi-Oh!
If the monsters weren't real before, they sure were now. Everyone has soul energy, Ba, which manifests as Ka, or a spirit. When used in tandem with the bonds of his cards, Yugi can will dual monsters into reality, even drawing anyone he wishes by believing in the heart of the card.
That is that probability manipulation nonsense. And I'm glad there's actually like an in-universe explanation for it rather than just being some old BS or just, oh, it's just magic. I mean, yeah, it's magic, but it's explained with actual like understanding. You're not just gonna be like, oh, he has magic and that's just what it is. No, they actually explain how he utilizes the spiritual energy to bring these monsters to life, which also lets you know how shadow games work, because now it's not just, oh, you're just destroying a monster and once your life points go down, I kill you. It's more like you're literally pouring your spiritual energy into these monsters and into your deck, and when you get attacked, you're also getting your spiritual energy attacked directly, so it's actually siphoning your life force.
Yami rediscovered his Egyptian past, his multiple lifelong bonds, and his real name, Atem. Claiming his place as the ruler of the afterlife, Atem fused the Egyptian god cards to summon Harakti, the creator of light.
she's the
If this card does not kill Ash Ketchum, I can't imagine how Ash is going to get out of this. If he summons this at all, I cannot fathom how Ash is getting out of this.
Yugi had grown as a duelist and a person. His victory proved that he no longer needed Atem's help to be his bolder half.
even when Atem was an entire dimension away or busy slapping the end of existence, he and Yugi would always be bros. Okay, it should have been me, not him. I'm sorry I called you a cheater. I was jealous. You're so cool.
Yugi moved on to a career in game design and passed the torch to future duelists. He would be remembered as the greatest duelist there ever was.
Except to Kaiba, who tried to ascend to the afterlife.
Who transferred his existence to the afterlife to get one final FU hater duel with Yugi, which I'm fairly certain he loses, by the way.
There will always be another story, another duel, another game, and you won't find yourself a better opponent than the king of games.
Okay, that being said, I genuinely think Yugi is winning this one. Even if he doesn't have the Pharaoh with him, I can't imagine him losing this duel in any kind of way, or this battle in any kind of way. It wouldn't make sense to me.
It's time to death battle! Oh.
Nice. I like the little Game Boy touch. I love this. This is so nice. Sick.
You okay, Pikachu?
Okay. I don't know why he has 4 out instead of 6, but this is pretty stacked. Sceptile being able to take out Darkrai is strong. Krokorok or Croconaw? This is Krokorok, I believe. Strong as hell. One of the better defense types. And then Lucario, who he can actually pour aura into and match aura with. And then obviously his head Pokemon, Pikachu.
On 4 is tricky.
Yugi already has Dark Magician out.
But I have lightning.
Okay, so this is like OG Yugi right now. I don't know how much they're gonna give him, but right now he's like OG with like Dark Magician and then Celtic Guardian and Stone Soul.
He played an Excalibur to boost my attack, and I set 1 card face down to end my turn.
Whoa.
So they are taking.
Okay, guys, it's our turn now. Pikachu, throw him up with quick attack. Everyone else, back him up.
Okay, that's interesting. So it looks like Ash, his turn is gonna be just commanding all his individual Pokemon and having them like kind of free for all, and then obviously being like dodge this, do this particular move or whatever. While Yugi's turn is gonna be more traditional Yu-Gi-Oh. And it seems like obviously that's how we're gonna get into the play with like the trap cards and the spell cards and what Yugi can and cannot do. Okay, I'm down for this. I still don't know how the monster's experience stacks up, if they're like base stats or whatever, but I assume we're not nerfing any of Ash's Pokemon for any reason.
Great job. Now, Thunderbolt.
Don't get ahead of yourself. You forgot about my face down card. Rise, Dimension Sphinx!
Okay, so yeah, this is a composite Yugi. Yeah, it destroys the Dark Magician, does 2 damage. Pass out, yeah.
Oh,
Got it,
I
got
get
it.
it. Good thing we brought them all, right, Pikachu?
What do you mean,
Who's
them
all? Oh, hell nah! I fucking called it, though! I fucking called it! They're stampeding in, and all these freaking Tauros, that's great!
Charizard!
Now watch Yugi just play fucking magic syllable. How does that work, though? Wait, no, genuinely, how does that work? How do the Pokemon's attacks coincide with life points and like the attack points and defense? I mean, I'm just gonna kind of shut my brain off and watch it. Actually, no, I can't shut my brain off for shit. That's Gandora X. This bro. If you just sacrifice every monster you got on your field right now, that man will wipe every single mon that Ash has out right now. And maybe that's the play. Maybe that's the play. Let's just watch. Uh-oh. There goes Celtic Guardian. Oh, and there's that Charizard. Woo! And the Mega Lucario. Go! Nice, nice. What did he deflect out of it? Just raw magic? Alright, the Kribos are down. Summon Skull, knock it down. Feels like the turns are more like suggestions. Oh.
Aha!
Yeah, so the turns are no longer a thing anymore. We're just going all out. Hey! Blast him. Boom. Gigantamax Gengar. Oh, that was sick! Yo, that was so cool! That was so cool. That was so fucking cool. I don't care how this ends. This is so... The creativity in this fight is just so great. That was so cool. The Gengar in his shadow was so cool. Let's go back and see that again. That is the coolest shot. That is so crazy. Is that gonna work on the rifle though? Or okay, he's gonna pick up a smaller amount. Haha, yeah. Season 0 is fun. Chapters in the Millennium Month. There you go. Uh-oh. What you got, Ash? What you gonna do? Oh no!
I'm sorry, partner. Don't worry. It's my turn now.
So he destroyed the puzzle. Alright, Yugi. Let's do
I just
it.
need to believe
In the heart of the cards.
in the heart of the cards.
Did Nick just draw 4 cards? Oh, that's insane.
Who's that Pokemon?
Haruxi, goddess of light. This is
How is Ash winning? No, like, in all seriousness, explain to me how Ash wins this fight. Bro has Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl out, ready to do their Dark Burning attack, and then he fused all 3 of the Egyptian gods. What is Ash gonna do? Respond.
this magician's flash burning magic. Haruxi, Joser.
Woo! That's not enough. We're trying our best. Swords are revealing light. Oh! That's an Oko! That's an Oko!
Pikachu, let's finish this.
Don't go out like no bitch though. Let's go. V-move. Let's go! You're not winning this, but you're not going out like no punk
You
either.
activated my trap card, Magic Cylinder.
Yeah!
Set your soul to attack your light points directly.
Woo! That was so clean.
That was an awesome duel, Ash.
That was so cool. Oh my god. I feel like even if he didn't use the magic cylinder, there's no way that 10 million volt Thunderbolt was getting through his fused gods. But either way, that was so cool. Ash, he's like, I think he knew he was cooked. He's like, I ain't going down like no punk though. That was cool. Respect. There were some cards that I would have liked to have seen, especially when they transitioned from Pharaoh to Yugi, because they have they're similar, but their decks necessarily aren't the same, and it probably would make sense to kind of do like a half Pharaoh deck and a half Yugi deck, since they were going in with the idea that it was just gonna be a Pharaoh duel. But I would have loved to see some kind of differentiation there, where we would have seen like Yugi, Yami the Pharaoh's playstyle, and then once the puzzle got destroyed, it would have been like a Yugi playstyle, if that makes sense. Which I guess we kind of got, but it was less of a Yugi playstyle, more just like overwhelming force, which is cool. Like again, no complaints about overwhelming force, but it was kind of cool. The way they played was a little bit different. Their strategies were different between Yugi and the Pharaoh. As far as Ash, I feel like he played the hell out of him that match. The Yugi, the Ash part of that fight was really good. Like the overwhelming force, his creativity between having his different mons have different play styles, and then there was just a lot going on that it didn't feel like Ash had a specific strategy for the Pharaoh, but more so that he was like making it up as it goes along. You know, it's like he did this, and now it's like, oh, if this doesn't work, let me cover that option by doing this. Oh, the Pharaoh can do that. Let me cover that option by doing this. Like he had really good counters to Yugi, and Yugi had really good counters to him, and they were just playing off of each other, which is a thing that both of them really do. So I like that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. This is the first of these kind of videos. I might go back and watch some of the other death battles because there are some I haven't seen, like Blade versus Buffy, and we'll watch some other videos as well. You know, maybe do some quizzes, get some other stuff out there now that I at least have a somewhat functional model working. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.